Okay, guys, how are we sounding? A lot better? Give me some virtual thumbs up. Yeah. Woohoo! We did it. Okay. I think there's just so many of you that we broke the internet, so, you know. Well, we have Mr. Phil, who is now behind the camera because we have to do some audio behind the scenes, but he'll still be asking us questions and guiding and facilitating as we go. So again, for those of you that might be tuning back in or hadn't tuned in yet, my name is Adele. I'm one of the co-founders of Eterneva. And today we're just doing a live tour of our facility that's up here in Kerrville, Texas. We love to show you guys a little bit of the behind the scenes, how our whole beautiful process works. We're super proud. We have the largest memorial diamond lab in the world. If you ever want to come visit us, we love to host, so know that you can. But for those of y'all that Texas is a little far, that's why we do the virtuals. So we'll do some AMA at the end and allow you guys to really get to know us. So a little about us, obviously we make diamonds from the carbon in ashes or hair, and really we make it a journey that's very experiential for our families, celebrating their loved ones, involving them in the diamond journey, sharing pictures and videos and updates as we go. And so I'm just excited for you guys to get a little sense of the ethos and the team behind the scenes, so you can see how many loving hearts pour into your loved ones or potential loved ones, and just what makes Eterneva so magical. So I'm gonna hand it back over to Abe, who not only is our VP of Operations, I'll brag on him, he is actually our longest employee. He is day one family and truly a founding team member of this company. He has single-handedly helped create every diamond for every loved one you see on the wall here. So we're super grateful to have him. There's no one more knowledgeable than him. So ask him lots of good questions at the end.
Awesome. Well, for people tuning in, my name is Abe. I'm our VP of Operations, and excited to show you Kerrville. We always start right here. This is our wall of photos. Every single photo up here is a person or pet that is becoming or has become a diamond, and this is something that's very, very important to us, is that we memorialize these people. One, we want our customers to know that we treat every single person with respect. We honor them, we know their name, and for everybody here on the team, it helps us stay connected. You know, this is our everyday job, but
Go back. Go back.
okay, so one of the things we want to show is we actually have Adele right here has a recent customer of ours that she wants to put up onto the wall and talk a little bit about.
Yeah.
So
Hold this.
if you want
Thank you so
to show them
much.
Sparky.
All right. So this is a little tradition we do. It's called an inauguration, where we inaugurate a loved one to the Eterneva family. That's what the wall is all about, is that we say their name. They are always up on our wall, and they get to be a part, of our everyday experience and brighten our day. So whenever a new loved one is starting the journey with us, we inaugurate them. So this is Sparky, y'all. Give you guys a little close up on him. And he is just an absolute sweetheart of a man. His husband, Michael, is having a beautiful blue heart diamond made for his husband. And these two just had the best love story I've honestly ever heard. I think Hallmark needs to call Michael real quick so that they can make a movie about them, because they're so amazing. But one of my favorite stories that Michael shared was he's actually from Taipei originally, so he's a naturalized US citizen, and Sparky took his So it was actually on Sparky's birthday that Michael got his citizenship. And so, as an example of the grand gestures and beautiful love story that they had, Sparky one year had a American flag flown over the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. to celebrate Michael as being an American. So they just are so full of so many beautiful love stories like that, and grand gestures and small little rituals. So we are really honored to get to inaugurate Sparky to the Eterneva family and to go on this beautiful journey with his husband, Michael. So we'll put him up on the wall here. And he's in good company. All right, back to you, Abe.
Awesome. And one of the things that I appreciate the most about this wall for everybody that works here and a lot of our customers that get to experience this is hearing about wonderful stories like Sparky makes every one of us that works here go through our day remembering, am I being the best son I can be, the best brother I can be, the best friend and the best partner, and getting these reminders of people talking about the most important person in their life really shapes the way that you go through your own life, making sure that you're having the biggest impact on people that you can.
100%.
Well, let's go through, meet some of the team, show you the process. So we'll start in here with Jason. He's our logistics coordinator. Jason, how's it going?
Good, how are you? Hello, everyone.
This is Jason. So the first step of the process is that we're going to send a welcome kit. So we can show you what that welcome kit looks like.
Shout out Jacob.
So our welcome kit always starts with a personalized video from whoever your representative that you've been talking to. We'll send this over. We'll include a we send every one of these tins. This will have everything that you need to put your loved one's ashes or hair to send back to us. We'll include a couple of different CZs so you can tell what sizes are. People don't really know what a quarter carat, half carat, 1 carat looks like, so we want you to be able to see exactly what that looks like on your hand. Once we get this kit back, Jason will open it up, send you pictures so that your loved one's safe with us, and then we get to start our journey. The next step in the journey is...
Can I ask a question
Absolutely.
real quick? So Jason, can you tell me about your wall?
My wall? You might need to bring the microphone closer.
Oh.
Well, sometimes Go back. Okay. Well, my wall, sometimes customers will have pets, will send in pictures of their dogs or their cats, and I'm a dog and cat person, so I take the pictures and made my own memorial wall for that. I mean, we also add them to the other wall, but these are the pictures that they've sent in.
This is Jason's, personal.
My personal
dash.
wall, yeah.
So cute.
I
Yeah.
have more. I just need more. I need to buy more magnets to fill up the wall.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I do too.
Thank you, Jason.
Fantastic. So once Jason is taking care to make sure that we checked in the ashes or hair that you send in, the next step is purification. So that's a very high temperature process where we're essentially vaporizing off everything else in the ashes. So what we have left is pure carbon, a 99.995% pure, in order to grow diamonds. And I believe we have a video that we're going to share that shows kind of like what preparation putting the ashes into a crucible looks like. So we can go ahead and play that.
Hello, Virginia. This is Liz with the lab here at Eterneva, and I wanted to begin this video update today by saying thank you so very much for entrusting us with your precious son, John. I am so honored to be part of this journey with you and your family as we grow a gorgeous diamond to honor and memorialize your beautiful child. So before we get started today, Virginia, I would like you to note this number here, 102232. This is going to be John's unique identifier throughout the carbon creation process. So as we transfer the material provided from this tin to this custom crucible, this number will safely trace John throughout these beginning few steps. And then we will have beautiful purified carbon with which to grow outstanding diamonds to continue carrying forward John's loving memory, and of course for us to honor him with as well. So let's go ahead and get started now. So as we begin this process, Virginia, I am going to start by transferring the hair into the crucible first, and then I will proceed transferring the ash, and then if needed, we will transfer the supplemental material as well. I do believe that we have enough material without using the supplemental material, but as I transfer the material and note the weight, that will become more clear, but I will start with the hair. So the purification process typically takes between 6 and 8 weeks, and at that time we will be receiving this same crucible back, and we will be opening it on camera together for the very first time since sealing it for purification today. And that is so crucial and critical to this process because it is the first big transformative step to becoming a diamond. So in life, as I'm sure you know, Virginia, we are constantly undergoing transformations. Now, whether those are physical, chemical, or emotional changes, you name it, life will always find a way to transform us somehow. And the transformation we are particularly concerned with when it comes to diamond growth is that of carbon in the vitreous and graphitic phases we have presented here. Vitreous referring to the hair, and graphitic referring to the ash, both of those transforming to the diamond phase, which is that crystal lattice formation that we're very familiar with. So to accomplish this, we first must isolate the carbon in our sources, and in hair, carbon is present in proteins such as keratin and melanin, which give hair its structure and its pigmentation. And in ashes or cremated remains, carbon is present in the carbonate molecule, which is a type of salt that is fundamental to the structure of our bones. And there are other compounds present within ashes as well, such as other types of salts, minerals, and heavy metals. And in order to isolate the carbon in these sources from those other compounds, we utilize a high heat and non-oxygenated environment, which allows the carbon within the sources to remain thermally and chemically stable, while these other compounds I've mentioned break down and they essentially dissociate away. This leaves behind a pure elemental yield of carbon, and of course we use that carbon for diamond growth. And again, that process does take roughly 6 to 8 weeks. And that is my favorite part personally of this journey, to be able to share with you on camera, because when the material returns as carbon from purification, it is so pure.
Great. So as you can see, once we've put your loved one's ashes, sometimes hair, some people even send other items like a favorite shirt or anything that contains carbon in it. This will go through purification. That takes about 6 to 8 weeks to get the refined carbon, which we will then also open that up on camera, show you the reveal, and after refinement looks like this. It's hard to see on camera. There's just this little amount of carbon.
And believe it or not, that little amount is capable of growing multiple diamonds from. How many diamonds do you estimate that could do?
You could probably grow about 10 diamonds from here.
10 diamonds from that. It's pretty wild.
The amount of ashes that we ask for is based on statistics, so every single person is 100% unique, which means the amount of carbon we get from ashes is always unique. So we base it on a range, making sure that we always ask for enough ashes that even if it's on the low end of carbon, we have plenty to grow diamonds. And what we'll do next is take this and build a growth cell.
Go. You know, carbon is actually super cool. It comes out a lot of the time very sparkly and very pretty. So as like simple as it is, going from ashes into sparkly carbon, that was one of the ones that like surprised me the most. When our customers, we would kind of share it with them and they would be like, oh my God, I love their carbon. And so yeah, it's just really cool to witness each one of these milestones is a literal transformation of state. A lot of our families are like, it's kind of like watching a gestation process, you know, where you're getting to watch these like transformative developmental milestones. So this is our first state change that we undergo, and we'll show you some more.
Awesome. So whenever we're going through the process, you can see on that video, we have what we call a run sheet. You can see here, this run sheet always has our information that we need on here. As the growth cell gets built, we'll sign and date that, and we keep that picture always there, along with the name. This is the basics of a growth cell. You can see we have a lot of components that all get put together. It eventually goes into this. In here, the three main components, the most important part, you've got obviously carbon. So that graphite there is carbon, but so is a diamond. And the difference between coal or graphite in a pencil or diamond is the conditions that it's formed under. In the machines we're about to show you, we get So inside of this growth cell, three most important components are carbon, which will become the diamond, a metal alloy, which is right here, and a tiny little diamond seed. That diamond seed is a piece of real diamond. It's about the size of a grain of salt. That acts like the piece of sand that a pearl forms around. We need that growth site. So when we're growing in the machine, reaching the conditions needed to grow a diamond, is about 870,000 pounds per square inch pressure and about 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit temperature. Under those conditions, the same way a diamond grows underneath the surface, we're just replicating that in a controlled environment.
Talk about what part of the actual diamond that becomes a diamond?
The part that becomes a diamond is the graphite. So that carbon that we just showed you, under those conditions, that carbon is going to dissolve into the metal and then reform as a diamond, atom by atom, off of that diamond seed. If we don't include the diamond seed, You still get diamond, but you could get 15 different sporadic diamonds growing. You could get one diamond in a weird shape. And what putting that seed in allows us to do is create a template. So you put in a seed that has a nice square pattern. The diamond will grow in a very structured, ordered fashion from there. So we guarantee that we get a diamond that's beautiful. So all these get assembled together, put into this, and then they go into one of these machines right over here.
What's really cool is that our technology, our process is actually just like how the earth grows a diamond. So we grow one diamond in a machine at a time. Regular lab-grown diamonds, for those of you that are familiar, those are predominantly mass-produced. So they're going to be in geographies like India or China, and they're growing like 100 in a machine at a time. Our process, obviously, we're working with a loved one and a very important and special carbon source. So we only grow one diamond in a machine at a time. It's just like how the earth forms a diamond, which is super cool. So these guys are literally recreating nature. Wild.
So these machines, you can come on in. Well, so you have this machine. It's prepared for the next growth. So Jensen, which is our customer Brittany's dog, is going to get loaded next. What will happen is that growth cell that we assembled will get put into this machine right here. So the growth cell will go into this machine. These plates will come together. This gets loaded up, and we apply an axial force through the press, running an electric current, and that's what's going to generate all that pressure and temperature that I was talking about earlier. Again, it's always one diamond at a time, only for one customer, which is a very different direction than the rest of lab-grown diamond technology has gone. While everybody else has been going towards how you can grow 20, 30, 50 diamonds in one time, we're using a technology that focuses on a single diamond growth, one at a time individually. Diamond growth will take a couple of weeks, up to about a month and a half, depending on the size of the diamond. Once this comes out and is getting unloaded, I can show you what the growth cell looks like. Right back out here.
Oh, sorry.
So after going through all that pressure and temperature, that growth cell that I showed you earlier gets compressed down into this little UFO here. What's going to happen next is we break this apart, open it up, and uncover the diamonds. The diamond will be trapped in a small amount of metal, so that metal alloy will actually trap the diamond in. We have to go through a process of putting it into an acid. That acid will basically erode away the diamond. Diamond is completely non-reactive.
Erode away the metal.
Sorry, erode away the metal around the diamond. Diamond is 100% non-reactive, and what we get is a rough diamond like this. See if we can show it on camera. If not, we'll send out videos what a rough diamond looks like. There we go. Once we have the rough diamond, then we're going to go over to Bianca, who is our in-house diamond grader. She's going to take a look at this diamond, set it up for planning, and then it'll be off to cutting. So let's go talk to Bianca.
We're coming for you, Bianca. Yeah.
All right, so this is Bianca. She's our GIA certified diamond grader. She's going to take the rough diamonds that we get and set them up with planning. She's going to inspect that diamond, get dimensions, pictures, videos for you, as well as ensure that the diamond is going to meet the clarity and quality and the guarantees that we have for carat weight.
Mm-hmm.
Once it goes off to cutting, they're going to shape that diamond. The cutting process uses Over a couple of weeks, the diamond cutters are going to expertly grind the diamond down and facet all the different facets into whatever shape you may choose. Our customers can do anything round, emerald, Asher cut,
Hearts,
heart
obviously.
shape. Heart's one of
It's
our
my
more
fave.
popular shapes. Anything that speaks to you. Once we get the cut diamond back, Bianca's going to grade it. Bianca, if you want to show us kind of a little bit of what you do, we have a grading report and analysis of a diamond pulled up.
So here is our grading report, and this tells the official quality based on the 4 C's of the diamond. And we also include the diamond, the loved one, the photo of the loved one as well, and then the personal inscription that the customer has chosen to engrave on the girdle of the stone.
We pulled up one of those personal inscriptions right here. So this is something we add on. It's only visible under, I think, 30x magnification.
At least, yeah.
30 to 40x magnification, but we put it there for our customers. This is typically going to be name of a loved one or a phrase. In this case, this person chose my best friends. We can do hearts, infinity signs, a couple other things on there. Just it's a small personal touch that we think is important to make sure that we have this diamond set for our customers.
What's also cool is that you don't see it pictured here, but on another part of the diamond, there's going to be an actual number that ties to So actually, you can kind of see here as well, this is the other engraving that we do. So you will always be able to see the actual report number that is engraved on the diamond. That way, in case anything ever happens to their diamond, God forbid, it is always trackable back to the grading report. And it is fully disclosed in our grading report that this is a memorial diamond and it needs to go home to their family. So that's just a bit of transparency and our own addition to the grading report to ensure that any of our diamonds it just ensures that any of our diamonds, if ever lost in the wild, know how to get back home to their family.
Once we have the graded diamond, then we can go into setting. So we have a wonderful team here that can work with customers to kind of design a setting. You can send ideas of what you want. We have a couple of pre-made settings, and I think we have a video to show of the setting process. So we can go ahead and play that so you can see how our setting process works.
The starting point of designing a setting for our client looks different for everyone. I start off by explaining what the process is like and what we can do, and then I allow the client to direct the process in any way that makes them feel the most comfortable. Sometimes that's by someone sending me inspirational images of a setting that they love. Sometimes that's with them sharing stories with me via email and some ideas of what they're envisioning. And sometimes it's a phone call where we just chat. The client tells me about what they're looking for, and then we talk about their loved one, and they share stories and inspiration with me about their loved one's life, what they liked, what they cherished, and beautiful memories. Hi, my name is Laura, and I'm proud to be a jewelry consultant here at Eterneva. I've been designing and consulting with clients on jewelry design for over 10 years. And what makes designing settings for me so special is that each setting that I design with my client holds a unique story. And each one here at Eterneva holds the memory of someone special. So I have so many different designs that I can consider my favorite. We have come up with such beautiful things with our clients that really, really fill my heart. But there is one story that I will forever remember. And that was with a client who was honoring her mother with a beautiful round blue diamond. And we had a call to go over an idea that she had for her setting. But in that conversation, she had mentioned one thing to me that sparked a design inspiration. She told me that her mom's favorite place in the whole world was to be in front of the ocean, watching the waves roll in while the sun was setting. And I got the flash of inspiration. So I set out to design a second surprise design for her with our 3D team. So we created the first initial design we had mocked up and discussed during the call, but we created the second inspired design for her to review, which was her mom's beautiful round blue diamond sitting in the center, mimicking the ocean, and abstract wave design underneath it that was encrusted in colorless diamonds, and the rays of a setting sun above Mom's diamond. To me, it was the perfect place for Mom to rest, right smack in the middle of her favorite place on earth, at the ocean, watching the waves roll in while the sun was setting. She had said to me that that was exactly what she didn't know she wanted. I want to say that it was almost like her mom was coming in and guiding the design for me and saying, this is where I'll forever want to be held. My favorite part about the process and working with our clients is when we get the design perfect. After working through different revisions and different ideas and design concept, there's this one moment where the design completely comes together and it becomes everything the client was envisioning, and they say they love it, that this is it. That is the special part for me. There's something about that moment when the final design comes together and the client is overjoyed with how perfect it is for them, that I feel like I've done my part in honoring their loved one and designing their perfect resting place. Thank you so much.
Laura, shout out.
Awesome. So that was Laura, our wonderful settings expert, talking through. So hopefully all of you get a chance to talk to her. Once we have the setting back, then we're going to do our homecoming, which is preparing for final delivery, which Adele has an example right here that she can show you.
Yes, so this is our homecoming kit. It says, today is the day, and I'm finally home. I am featuring and showing you guys one of my dear friends and Eterneva family members. This is Brooke's Graham. Her name is Grandma Dot. Brooke did a black diamond for her grandma because she was like a little dot. She was a sweet little lady. And so look at that epic diamond. Her ring is so gorgeous. I am obsessed with it. All black diamonds. Look how beautiful. Oh, so good. Brooke, I can't wait for Graham to come home. So exciting. All right, y'all. Well, that is the abbreviated version of the tour, and thank you for bearing with us through some audio and technical, but you know, we're doing this on a monthly basis. We'll dial it in. But we want to open it up for AMA. What questions do you guys have? I know there were a couple in the chat. Also, shout out to Rel and Jarius. Hi, guys. Yeah, hit us with your questions.
Ruth Bauer has a question. If the diamond grows a bit bigger than a final product expectation, do the cutters cut it down, or do they try to retain as much as possible?
It's a great question. So whenever we're growing, we have a minimum target. So whatever size our customers choose, if it's a half carat or 1 carat, we're always growing a diamond, trying to make sure that we get that or a little bit bigger. Our cutters are instructed to keep the biggest size that they can get while keeping our quality standards for that diamond. So
The last part again.
Oh, so yeah, to answer that question, we're not going to cut it all the way down to the bottom unless that customer had a very, very specific size to meet a specific ring. Typically, we're going to get a little bit bigger than whatever that minimum size is.
Okay. Is this only for those that have lost loved ones, or can living person given enough carbon matter to have one made?
Absolutely. You can totally do a living, we call them living diamonds. I actually have one myself. So that diamond is made from the carbon in my husband and I's hair. He has a matching diamond in his ring. And what was really cool, so we're literally together in our diamond. There's a lot of options to be able to combine different carbon sources so you can have your most important relationships. But something we did was we actually talked about what are our core values going into our marriage. And those engravings that you guys saw, we each have a core value that's engraved on our two diamonds. So you can make it really personal. We've seen people celebrating beating cancer by having diamonds made from their hair, or gifting mom Abe on Mother's Day.
I did.
Yeah, tell us about that.
I grew a diamond out of me and my sister's hair to give for her. I actually want to give my favorite story is a diamond we just recently delivered. A guy who, now my friend Peter, he sent in love letters that he had collected from him and his wife for years, and surprised her by turning those love letters into carbon, growing a diamond, and then on their anniversary, revealing that diamond. And he and I ended up speaking quite a bit throughout because he's a PhD in chemical engineering. So he had a lot of questions, and I was happy to answer them, and we became friends. I'm hoping to visit him in Boston soon.
So great. I love it. Great question.
Yeah. So, how do colors work?
Great question. So standard diamond is going to be colorless. That's what most people think of when they think diamond. There's two other colors that can be grown as is. A yellow diamond would have a little bit of nitrogen added into the growth cell. A blue diamond would have a little bit of boron added in. And those are just two other elements in very, very small amounts. We're talking parts per million would be the difference between a dark blue and a light blue. For our other colors, so red, green, pink, and black, there's another step called irradiation. So this is not radiation of the Geiger meter is going off. This is an electron beam. And what's happening is you grow a yellow diamond, a very specific shade of yellow, so we know how much nitrogen is there. And that electron beam is going to interact with the electrons that are inside of the nitrogen atom. And that changes the way that that atom now interacts with visible light. I geek out on it. It's pretty deep science. For everybody else, all you need to know is we're not painting, we're not adding, we're not taking anything away. It's on the atomic level that that structure is actually being changed so that you now get from a really light yellow into a beautiful pink.
I'll show you. So this is Tracy. You already saw her. She's my mentor. She is a black, but she started as a yellow. This is my grandma. She started as a yellow. Now she's a pink. And then that's also Tracy. Started as a yellow. Actually, I think this one started as a colorless, and that's a little champagne color. So just a little example of all that's possible with amazing irradiation technology.
Very cool. So how much does it cost?
How much does it cost? So obviously it's going to range like any diamond will. It's going to be based exclusively really on size. So these are all of our classic shapes and colors are going to be the same price. So it's just going to be based on size. And we see a huge range here. So our entry price is $3,500. Our most expensive diamond is a 5-carat beautiful badass diamond. That's a $75,000 diamond. Yes, enter shock factor, we know. But there really is just options for everywhere in between. We see a lot of our families around like 8 to 10,000 because they may want to go bigger, or they may want to have multiple diamonds made with different family members. But regardless of what you choose, all of them are beautiful. All of them are special. That one I just showed you of Tracy, that's our 0.25. And I love it because I get to have her every day and I wear her every day. So, you know, that's a 3-carat for me and my husband. That's the 0.25. That's a 0.75. And that's a 1-carat. So you can see you can't really go wrong. It is just going to be personal preference on what feels most special. And then for, you know, just planning purposes, know that we do have some financing options available as well. So we work with a firm. They have wonderful options if you want to spread the cost out over 6, 12, 18 months.
So Jessica asked if she wasn't sure if we mentioned it earlier, but will supplemental resources be returned if they're not used?
Yeah, so we send over the tin because that's about the right size for everything that we need. If we get more ashes, sometimes people will send in like, and we had one person that sent in an army uniform from their husband. And, we talk to them, we cut off, just the portion that we need. And at the end, we're going to send everything back that wasn't there. So if we have extra, we return that at the end. Good?
Good.
We will keep extra carbon. So after purification, like we talked about, typically we get more carbon than we need for a single diamond. We keep that inside of our vault in storage. So if you ever need another diamond in the future, or also for insurance purposes, we can grow another diamond if needed.
Pretty awesome vault. Bank grade.
We did have to build the building around that.
Built the building around the vault. It was pretty awesome. But yeah, to Abe's point, and this is just a good like peace of mind thing to know, at the end of our process, we always let our families know, please insure your diamonds. Please, 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 please. And we have a great partner, Jewelers Mutual. They exclusively focus on jewelry insurance, so they can cover it. It's very reasonable. And that way, if anything ever happens, if it's lost, if it's stolen, they cover full replacement costs, and we have additional carbon to grow from. So we get your consent, make sure you're cool with us storing their carbon, but then it's just good peace of mind so that you can wear them every day and not be afraid.
Is it possible to have 2 diamonds made from ashes sent in?
Oh yeah,
Yep.
totally.
Yeah. The normal amount of ashes that we ask for is usually enough to grow multiple diamonds. And of course, we're working with you up front. So for those customers that are growing many, we've had some people that had a large family that are growing. So yeah, people that order more diamonds, we might work with to send in a little bit more material. But yeah, it's very common to grow multiple diamonds from one set of ashes.
Yeah, half a cup could do about 5 diamonds on average. So a little bit goes a long way. If you don't have enough, some people only have like little mini urns or they won't have a lot of ashes. No, reach out to us because we can work with you. What we often are guiding and advising is what else could you add to make this very special? So something we see all the time, let's say with mamas who have lost their babies and maybe don't have a lot of ashes or they don't want to give up all the ashes, we'll encourage them to cut some of their own hair so they can be together in the diamond. Or if they want to use a baby's blanket, or a onesie, obviously that applies with kind of any loved one. If it's a pet, we could do a leash or their favorite toy, our loved ones with a favorite t-shirt. So there's a lot of options if you don't have half a cup, and just reach out and we'll advise you.
Is Texas the only location where Eterneva grows diamonds?
No, we actually have a couple of partners. We have one partner that's in Germany. They have a phenomenal lab there. We work with them and have worked with them a long time, particularly while we were building our lab here.
Mm-hmm.
We also have another facility that's in the San Diego area that's only growing our very large diamonds. And then we also have a partner in Switzerland. And it really depends on the size, the color, and as well as just our capacity of where we're putting the diamonds. But we love having our facility here. We grow as many diamonds as we can, and we invite people to come visit so they can see our process.
And I think too, important just, for kind of background knowledge, when we first started Eterneva, Tracy was our first diamond that we made, my mentor. And I really wanted to do this process with her. I actually started as a consumer. I didn't think I was going to start this company. And I talked to some of the companies that were out there, and I just wanted to know, like, how does the process work and how do I know her ashes go into the diamond? And at the time, I just wasn't really finding, a lot of people that would be really forthright with where their labs were located and showing the process. And so that was just a big inspiration for us as we got Eterneva started, and Tracy became our first diamond that we made, is that we just looked at everything through the lens of what do we want for our loved ones and how do we ensure that that's the experience our families get. So it was really intentional where we geographically decided to have our labs. Majority of lab-grown diamond capacity is in Russia, India, China, Ukraine, but those are pretty far away, and there's really not a lot of visibility and that same level of kind of precision and transparency that we wanted for our people. So that was why it was an intentional decision to be in places like Germany, here in the United States, and just make it as like transparent and open and video driven as possible, so our families just had total peace of mind.
I don't know if they can hear my questions. Can y'all repeat them?
Yeah, we'll repeat your questions, totally.
Sure. How many pets and people can you fit into one diamond?
How many pets and people can you fit into one diamond?
That's a good question.
I mean, that's up to you. I hope that someone hasn't had that much loss that they need to stretch that question too far, but we have had one customer. They named the golden ratio. Do you remember they sent?
That was so cute.
I think it was like 5 generations of golden retrievers that had all passed away by the time they found our process. So at the end of the day, I mean, we can really put as much combination of different people, pets into one diamond. It's up to our consumers, our customers, and usually it's just 1 or 2. A lot of people will do, you know, like grandma and grandpa or mom and dad together.
There was one that I loved. There was a multi-generational diamond. You remember that one where it was a grandmother who had passed. So we were using her ashes and then her daughter's hair and then her granddaughter's hair. So it was like all 3 generations in the diamond. So yeah, a lot of cool stories like that.
It's 2 o'clock. Do y'all want to wrap up or take any more questions?
Good about if they're I can't read it. Jesse, something about their child being colored one. If their diamond is grown in Switzerland, does that mean the color?
Oh yeah.
Overseas as well?
Brian was grown in Switzerland. Does that mean the colorization takes place there also, the whole process, or does the diamond come back to the designers in the States?
Got it. So the question is about really locations for the whole process, which I think is a great question. Purification. So ours is the only facility that we are receiving ashes. We're doing the purification. We're getting the carbon. Only diamond growth is happening in either Switzerland, Germany, or here. Depending on color, we're going to route to different places. So, you know, one facility is very, very good for yellows. The other is fantastic for blues. But diamond cutting is going to take place in either Antwerp for diamonds grown in Germany, or Toronto for all the diamonds grown in Switzerland or here in the United States. Coloration happens here in the United States. We try to keep as much as we can as locally as possible. But some of this equipment is highly specialized, big. One day we hope to have everything 100% under one roof. But diamond growth, cutting, these are very, very specialized things. We want to work with the people who are the absolute best at it. We vet our suppliers very, very heavily, and all of them work almost exclusively with us. These are not mass producers that are growing thousands of diamonds. The majority of what they do is just us, and then a little bit of R&D for government labs.
Yeah, and I think, again, as Abe's saying, like a lot of the decisions we've made across our entire process have been very intentional to say what creates the highest quality of diamond while also respecting the incredible precision that is necessary and just care and chain of custody. And so unlike, again, a lot of lab-grown diamonds are more in kind of a manufactured mass production, they'll use things like automated cutting technologies. We actually have all of our diamonds hand cut by master cutters. That's what happens with the top 1% of diamonds. So natural diamonds that are kind of considered the best of the best are hand cut. So those are the decisions that we've made along the way. It's not the cheapest place, as you can imagine, to grow diamonds, to cut diamonds, but we want our loved ones as close to home as possible and being done in the highest integrity and the highest quality way. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for all of your questions and your patience as we had a couple little technical things. We are going to be doing more of these. So on a monthly basis, like come back, hang out with us, have more good questions for us. We'll have more good stories for you. We'll show some cool settings and, you know, all kinds of cool stuff. So we appreciate it. We love getting to do this together. And for all the Eterneva family that's out there that's tuning in, we love you and thank you. And thank you for your trust. And thank you for letting us get to be a part of this really sacred work.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye.